So, good morning everyone. Let's start with our new subject, electronic communication, and its course code is EE401. And before going to the subject, I will tell you uh, the textbooks commonly used are Electronic Communication System by Kennedy and Electronic Communication by Rudy and Cullen. Both these books are very useful and most of the topics are in the textbook Kennedy G. And discussing about this subject, it deals with different communication equipments, methods and its concept. For example, you already studied about modulation in your basic electronic subject, or that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, etc. You already studied in first year. The first module actually covers that amplitude modulation and different types of amplitude modulation and how it will work, and frequency modulation. And in the coming lectures, we will study about how this AM and FM signals are transmitted and received, and we have to discuss about some communication equipments like television, radar, and how this analog and actually in first three modules we will discuss about analog communication, and in third and in fourth module we will start with digital communication. As we know, nowadays most of the communication is through digital signals. Most of the communication is now happening through digital communication due to its huge number of advantages compared to analog communication. So from the third module itself we will start with digital communication, and in fifth module we will discuss different digital communication systems like satellite communication or mobile communication, etc. The last module covers the mobile communication. I think a portion of it you already studied in your basic electronics subject, that is how a mobile communication system will work, etc. All these will I think you already studied it in your basic electronic subject. And as I said, the first three modules we will discuss about analog communication, and the last three modules we will discuss about digital communication. So before going to the first module or directly into the modulation technique, let us discuss about analog communication, or I will tell you about the basic elements of analog communication. Actually, most of the signals or information generated in this world is in the form of analog signal. And due to the advantages of digital signal, we are converting this analog signal into digital signal and then transmit. And at the receiving end, we will receive the digital signal and will again convert it into analog signal. And while discussing about analog communication, that is, we will transmit the signal as analog signal. The basic elements required are the first step is analog information source, that is the source which will generate the information to be transmitted or an information to be analyzed or any information. That is, first is the source. Since we are discussing about analog communication, we will say it as analog information source. And we cannot transmit this generated information as such, because normally the information generated in every case in the form of low frequency signals. Why? Because for example, if we are transmitting a speech signal or audio signal which will be in the range of 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, as you know, this is a low frequency signal. And while considering the power of a signal, its power is proportional to its frequency. So just remember this point. The power of a signal depends on its frequency, and if we are using this low frequency signal, its power will be less. Then if you are going to transmit this low frequency signal, that is low power signal, it cannot transmit a long distance with this low power, because the low power signal will get distorted easily compared to high power signal, and the amount of noise affected in this low power signal will be high. So we cannot transmit this signal as such. So we will use modulation technique. In analog signals we will use analog modulation. Analog modulation, where we will use a carrier signal. Since we are using analog communication, this is analog carrier source. Then this modulated signal will be transmitted to a communication channel. This channel may be a wired channel or wireless channel or an optical cable or anything, and through this channel it will reach to receiver, where it will be demodulated. So we will use analog demodulation. Analog demodulation. After demodulation, it will reach to its destination. So this is known as receiver. So an analog information will be modulated and transmitted through communication channel and will reach the receiver. Now, why this modulation? A modulation means any change. If you are modulating a signal means we are changing that signal. And why we are changing this signal, or why what do you mean by modulation? For example, if we are going to travel from Alappuzha to Ernakulam, and it is the distance between these two places is high, so we cannot travel from Alappuzha to Ernakulam by walk, because we cannot travel it by walk or using a cycle because the distance is high. Then what will we use? We will use a vehicle like a car or a bus or anything that will carry us from Alappuzha to Ernakulam. That is, we are using a carrier which will transfer the people or a person from Alappuzha to Ernakulam, because with our energy we cannot travel our own from this place to another which is far away from our place. Similarly, a signal which is of low frequency and low power cannot travel a large distance. Then we will use a carrier. As in our case, it is a vehicle. Since these are signals, we will use a signal which is of high power, that is high frequency. So carrier is always a high frequency, so high power signal. So always remember, power is proportional to frequency. So a low power signal cannot transmit to a large distance as such. So we will use a carrier which is of high frequency, so high power, which will carry this information from this source to this destination. That is why we are using modulation. Modulation is the process of placing this information to this carrier. Since these are not humans or physical things, we cannot place these signals directly to this carrier. Then we will use some methods to place the signal to the carrier, which is known as modulation. I think now it is clear what is modulation and why we are using modulation while transferring that signal. So we already said that what is modulation, what are the basic elements in analog communication system. Next, we are going to discuss about the need for modulation. Before that, let us see what is modulation or its definition. We already said that a signal is carried by a carrier, and carrier is a high frequency, high power signal. Now, what is modulation or how this carrier will carry our information signal? That process is known as modulation, and modulation means changing any one of the parameter of the carrier. What are the different parameters of carrier? It may be amplitude, frequency, and phase, or changing any one of these parameter of this carrier with respect to the message or modulating signal. That is, modulation means we are changing actually by saying we are placing the information signal to the carrier signal means actually we are changing any one of these parameter of the carrier signal in accordance with the message signal. From now onwards, we will not say it is message signal, it is modulating signal. So message signal is called modulating signal, and another one is called carrier signal, and the resultant signal is known as modulated signal. So we are using carrier signal, modulating signal, and the resultant one is known as modulated signal. So by changing any one of the parameter of the carrier signal in accordance with the message signal, we will modulate the signal, or we are placing the information to the carrier signal. That is known as amplitude modulation. Now we can discuss about the need for modulation or why we are using modulation. The first point is, as we already said, the distance that can be traveled by the signal in an open atmosphere or through any channel is proportional to its frequency. That is, distance is proportional to frequency. Why? As we already said, the frequency is proportional to power. So if frequency is high, its power will be high, so it can travel a long distance. So the low frequency signal cannot travel to a large distance. So we are using modulation, because in modulation we are changing this low frequency information signal into carrier frequency or to high frequency, or we are placing the message signal to the carrier means we are changing a low frequency signal to high frequency signal by changing any one of the parameter of the carrier signal. Actually we are transmitting carrier signal where placing the information in either amplitude of the carrier or in frequency of the carrier or in phase of the carrier. So the first point in need for modulation is, since the distance is proportional to frequency, a high frequency signal can travel to a long distance. Now, second thing is, in low frequency signal, the interference or noise will be high. The reason is also the same, because in low frequency range it will directly affected by interference, or it will get mixed up with other signal, because all the signals generated in nature are in low frequency. So if we are using the information signal as such to transmit through an open atmosphere, it will get mixed up with similar frequency which are generated in nature, that is noise. So we will use modulation. That is the second reason for modulation. Now, third one is the length of antenna is inversely proportional to frequency. While transmitting and receiving, we will use antenna. And if antenna is proportional, if antenna length is proportional to, and antenna length is inversely proportional to frequency. If frequency is less, what will happen? Since it is inversely proportional, for low frequency we need a high length antenna. That is not practical, because for a 50 Hz signal we will need a very large length antenna. So if we will increase the frequency, we can reduce the length of this antenna. So using this relation, we can say that using the modulation we can reduce the length of antenna. Also, the fourth point is the radiation efficiency is poor for low frequency signal. While transmitting antenna, while transmitting the signal, we will use antenna, and the radiation efficiency of the antenna will reduce in low frequencies. So maximum we will use modulation to change this low frequency signal to high frequency signal. So the next topic is the equation for AM signal or basic amplitude modulation technique. Basic amplitude modulation, and this is also known as, this is very important, double sideband full carrier, that is DSFC technique. So the basic amplitude modulation or simple amplitude modulation is known as double sideband full carrier technique. And while discussing the further details, we can see why this is called double sideband full carrier technique. അത് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പറയുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്ക് ബാക്കി ടോപ്പിക്സ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും മനസ്സിലാവും. Now, what do you mean by amplitude modulation? As we know, modulation is the technique in which any one of the parameter of the carrier signal, either amplitude, frequency or phase, is changed with respect to the modulating signal. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of carrier will change. എന്തിനെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്താൽ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? വിൽ ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻ വിത്ത് റെസ്പെക്ട് ടു മോഡുലേറ്റിംഗ് സിഗ്നൽ. മോഡുലേറ്റിംഗ് സിഗ്നലിനനുസരിച്ച് ആംപ്ലിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഓഫ് കരിയർ സിഗ്നൽ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യും എന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. ഇനി വാട്ട് ഈസ് കരിയർ സിഗ്നൽ? കരിയർ ഈസ് എ ഹൈ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി signal. Why we are using high frequency signal? Because high frequency signals have high power, so it can travel a long distance. So we will use a carrier with high frequency. Let the frequency be Fc. We are considering the frequency of carrier signal as Fc. Next one is our modulating signal. Our modulating signal is a signal with frequency Fm. Let it be Fm, because M indicates it is message signal. C indicates it is carrier. M indicates it is message signal or data signal. Then we can write a carrier signal as VC. Here it is small v suffix c. A carrier signal can be represented as small letter v suffix c, which is equal to capital VC sin omega c t, where omega c is equal to 2 pi f c. As we said, the carrier is of frequency fc. So the angular frequency is 2 pi f c. Then the carrier signal can be represented, any signal, any sinusoidal or cosine wave can be represented as its maximum amplitude into cos omega t. So here maximum amplitude is represented as capital letter V and the signal is represented as small letter v. ഇത് എപ്പോഴും ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചേക്കാം. The carrier signal is represented as small letter v, which is equal to maximum amplitude capital V into sin omega ct, where omega c equal to 2 pi f c. Similarly, we can write the modulating signal small letter Vm is equal to capital Vm sin omega m into t. Then what is omega m? Omega m is equal to 2 pi f m. Or any sinusoidal or cosine wave can be represented as its maximum amplitude into sine or cosine and angular frequency with respect to time. ഇത് general equation ആണ്. ഏതൊരു സിഗ്നലിനെയും its maximum amplitude, and if it is a sine wave we can write sin omega t, and if it is a cosine waveform we can write as maximum amplitude into cos omega t. This is the general equation. അപ്പോൾ ഏതൊരു ഇക്വേഷനും മാക്സിമം ആംപ്ലിറ്റ്യൂഡും ഫ്രീക്വൻസിയും തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇത് സൈൻ വേവോ കൊസൈൻ വേവോ ആണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ എഴുതാനായിട്ട് പറ്റണം. So we know how to represent the carrier signal and modulating signal. Next we need the modulated signal. Modulated signal, that is VAM. Our aim is to find the equation for the modulated signal, or we have to find out the equation for AM signal. Generally, a signal VAM can be represented as A sin theta, that is its maximum amplitude into sin theta, because after modulation also it will remain as sine or cosine. Generally we will represent it as sine wave because cosine is 90 degree shifted version of sinusoidal signal. So generally it can be written as like A sin theta. But we know after modulation only the amplitude of the carrier signal is changing and its frequency will remain same. Then we can write AM signal as maximum amplitude into sin omega c t, because after modulation also its frequency will remain same because only the amplitude is changing. So after modulation an AM signal can be written as A sin omega ct, where omega ct is the angular frequency of carrier signal. Why we can write like this? Because after modulation only the amplitude of carrier is changing. Now how this amplitude is changing? With respect to the modulating signal or our message signal. That is, we are adding our message signal, that is Vm sin omega m into t to the carrier signal amplitude, and the phase is remaining same. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ നോക്കാം, a signal can be generally written as A sin theta. Since after modulation only the amplitude is changing, we can write it as A sin omega ct because the carrier wave frequency will remain the same. Then how this amplitude is changing in amplitude modulation? The amplitude of carrier, Vc is the maximum amplitude of carrier. Amplitude of carrier is changing with respect to the message signal. So this is the amplitude of carrier signal plus message signal. We are saying the amplitude of carrier is changing with respect to message signal, not with respect to frequency or maximum value. It is changing with respect to the full data signal, because we are placing our data to its amplitude. So just remember the concept and write this equation. Don't try to mug up it. So we can write like this. Now we can expand it. Expand it like Vm sine omega m into t sine omega c into t plus Vc sine omega c t. Now we can write it is equal to Vc sine omega ct into, we are taking Vc sine omega ct outside, that is 1 plus, here there is sine omega ct, we are taking it outside. Since there is no Vc component, we can write it like Vm by Vc into sine omega m into t, where Vc sine omega ct is the carrier signal. Vc is the maximum amplitude of carrier and omega c is the angular frequency of carrier. So we can write it like this. Then we can write Vc sine omega ct into 1 plus small letter m into sine omega m into t. This is very important term. Small letter m is equal to Vm by Vc, which is equal to modulation index. This is known as modulation index. Always remember this. This is the modulation index of AM signal. Then we may write it as M suffix A. The A represent it is modulation index of AM signal, which is equal to Vm by Vc. And this will remain always between, MA will remain in between 0 and 1. It will lie between 0 and 1. Why? Since it is lies between 0 and 1, we can say that here modulation index is Vm by Vc, where Vm is the maximum amplitude of the message signal and Vc is the maximum amplitude of carrier signal. It should be less than 1 means the maximum amplitude of data signal should be equal to or less than carrier signal, right? It can go up to only Vc, or otherwise we have to choose a carrier with amplitude greater than the maximum value of message signal. That is the significance. Otherwise there may be a chance of message loss or data loss, that we will say later. And sometimes this is represented in percentage and known as percentage modulation. Percentage modulation. Since modulation index is equal to less than or equal to 1, Vm should be less than or equal to Vc. If Vm is greater than Vc, that is M a greater than 1, distortion will occur. So always the modulation index of AM signal will lie less than 1, that is the maximum amplitude of carrier should be greater than the maximum amplitude of the data signal. So we have to choose the carrier signal with maximum amplitude greater than that of maximum amplitude of data signal. Just remember that while drawing the figure of this AM signal we can identify it. Now from this equation, how we write this equation? First we write the general equation, then we will replace the theta with omega ct since only amplitude is changing. Then the amplitude is changing with respect to data signal, so Vc plus Vm sin omega t. Then take all the components inside. Now we can write it as V, small letter Vam is equal to Vc sin omega ct plus, what is sin A sin B? Sin A sin B is equal to sorry, let's proceed from the last equation itself, that is finally we write Vc sin omega ct into 1 plus m sin omega m into t. Now we can take this term inside, that is Vam is equal to Vc sin omega ct plus ma into Vc sin omega ct into sin omega m into t. Now what is sin A sin B? 2 sin A sin B is equal to cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. Then we can write the Am signal Vam is equal to Vc sin omega ct plus ma Vc. This is sin A sin B. 2 sin A sin B is cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. Then sin A sin B is equal to by 2 into cos omega c minus omega m into t minus cos omega c plus omega m into t. Now why omega c minus omega m instead of omega m minus omega c? Because carrier signal frequency is high, Fc is greater than Fm. So of course this omega c will be greater than omega m. So we can write it as Vam equal to Vc sin omega ct plus ma Vc by 2 into two cos components. One is cos omega c minus omega m and another one is omega c plus omega m. That is, we can say that the equation of Am signal consists of three terms. The three terms are, first one is Vc sin omega ct. Vc sin omega ct is carrier signal with a frequency Fc. So that is the first component. Second component is ma Vc by 2 cos omega c minus omega m into t, whose amplitude is ma Vc by 2 and angular frequency is omega c minus omega m, or we can write it as 2 pi Fc minus 2 pi Fm, or we can say that this component have frequency. If we will take 2 pi common, then we can see that the second component is having amplitude ma Vc by 2 and frequency f equal to Fc minus Fm. And while considering the third term is also having magnitude ma Vc by 2 and which is cos omega c plus omega m into t. That is, its amplitude is ma Vc by 2 and frequency f equal to Fc plus Fm. how this Fc plus Fm comes? Because it is omega c plus omega m, that is 2 pi Fc plus 2 pi Fm. From these three cases, first component is having frequency Fc, second component is having frequency Fc minus Fm, and next one is Fc plus Fm. Then the second and third components are known as, second one is lower side band and third component is upper side band, because we are trying to transmit the signal with a frequency Fc. Fc is the frequency of carrier, because we are changing only the amplitude. So there is another component having frequency Fc minus Fm, which is lower sideband, which is less than Fc, and there is another component Fc plus Fm, which is having frequency greater than Fc. So there is three components in the range Fc, Fc plus Fm, and Fc minus Fm. From this, if this is frequency, from this we can say that the bandwidth is equal to, what do you mean by bandwidth? Bandwidth is the range of frequency. So here the range of frequency is from Fc minus Fm to Fc plus Fm. This is the range. How we can find the distance? Fc plus Fm minus Fc minus Fm, that is equal to 2 Fm. This is also important. So in case of AM, the modulation index MA equal to Vm by Vc, and its bandwidth is 2 Fm, and the modulation index should lies between 0 and 1. And also the equation consists of three components. First one is carrier, second one is a lower sideband signal, and third component is an upper sideband signal. And another thing is the bandwidth is twice the maximum frequency of data signal. That is also we can obtain from this equation. Bandwidth is equal to twice the maximum frequency of the modulating signal. Now from this data we can draw the frequency spectrum. Frequency spectrum. That is, if we will draw this x-axis as frequency f, we know we have three components with frequency Fc, Fc minus Fm, Fc plus Fm. So this is of frequency Fc, this is Fc minus Fm, and this is Fc plus Fm. And we are going to draw the magnitude of these three components. The first component is carrier signal with frequency Fc, whose amplitude is Vc. This is Vc, that is carrier signal. Next, Fc minus Fm signal with amplitude Ma Vc by 2. Ma is less than or equal to 1 and into Vc by 2. So it should be less than this Vc. So here it is Ma Vc by 2. Next one is Fc plus Fm component having magnitude Ma Vc by 2. Here if you look, there is a negative sign. If you will take only the modulus value, then we will get Ma Vc by 2. So this is known as the frequency spectrum of AM signal, and this is also an important portion. The frequency spectrum of AM signal will look like this. This we can obtain only from the equation. So deriving this equation is very important. Just one more thing is, from this frequency spectrum we can analyze that there is a central, three frequency components are there, where the central frequency has the highest amplitude, and other two sidebands are decreasing its amplitude symmetrically about Fc. If there is another sideband is there, its amplitude will decrease as it move away from this carrier frequency. So here at this carrier frequency its amplitude will be high, and when going to the sidebands its amplitude will decrease gradually, and its amplitude will never increase greater than Vc by 2, because the maximum value is Ma is 1. If Ma is less than 1, it will decrease less than Vc by 2. That is also an important point.